I want to talk to you about the best chargeback protection software solutions. I mean, if you are selling online or you even selling offline, you have to really pay attention to chargeback protection because otherwise you just be losing money. But most importantly, you'll be damaging your business reputation big time. So let me share with you the top tools for you to really pay attention to this year. Number one, you have Chargeback IO. So Chargeback IO is actually the best overall chargeback prevention tool in our view. Okay, when you think about this app, I want you to think about a true chargeback prevention tool. Basically, what it does is that it reads through your transactions and detects if one can potentially result in a chargeback, and it also does something very nice is that it will act quickly before a dispute turns into a chargeback. So once a customer files a dispute, the system gets a notification and then sends that notification to you so you can take action big time. So when you think about Chargeback IO features, you have features such as auto refund. You can set the program in a way where it automatically sends a refund if a customer disputes a transaction. You have integration, so you can integrate the Chargeback IO system with PayPal, Braintree, Recurly, Stripe, and Chargebee. So overall, it has many integration options. And you also have manual refund. So if you are using a payment processor that has no integration option with Chargeback IO, you can still use it to process refunds manually. So that's really fantastic. So in terms of pros and cons, with Chargeback, you can act on a dispute before it turns into a chargeback. You only pay for every alert, no monthly fees, and there are multiple integrations. Next, you have Riskified. So Riskified is actually great for it's a great chargeback protection tool for fraud prevention. Okay, so it's an AI-powered tool that blocks fraudulent transactions. So in addition to fraud prevention, you have systems that help you as a merchant reduce abuse of your promotions. That's really good. So in terms of features, you have fraud prevention, you have chargeback management, and you have automation. So you're able to increase your business profit. You are able to reduce chargeback because of fraud prevention, and you can actually use the same platform to manage chargebacks. So this is really fantastic. Next, if you're looking for a chargeback protection software, think about Count. So Count is great for fraud detection and legal compliance. What I love about Count is that you can apply it in multiple geographies. Okay, so this is a fraud prevention tool that eventually results in fewer chargeback cases. So what it does is that it really collects information at the source. So once a person goes to your website, that's when it starts collecting info. And Count then analyzes the data and determines if the transaction is potentially fraudulent or not. So you have features such as a fraud detection, chargeback management. So you can actually manage disputes from the system. So there is a response builder where you can build a template of information that the system will fill out as a response to the dispute. And you have automation. Okay, so you're able to detect fraud before it happens, and you can use it on non-traditional payment apps like Venmo, Cash App, or Square. And there is protection for digital wallets and accounts. You also have Shield. So Shield is another app I want you to really think about. Shield is great for device-first fraud detection. So this is actually a multifaceted financial program that helps detect fraud, block potentially fraudulent transactions, and protect consumer accounts. So it really identifies the users or buyers by their devices. So you have device intelligence. So basically, Shield identifies customers based on their purchase patterns and from what device they use. So if a card is stolen and is being used on a new device, this transaction will not go through. You also have fake accounts. So the system can identify fake accounts and block them. This feature also includes security systems that prevent account takeovers. And you also have identity fraud. So chargebacks happen if someone gets a hold of another person's card details, right? So as a merchant, you can get yourself protected from this type of chargeback because Shield will tell you who you are dealing with, fraudster or legitimate consumer. So this is really good. So long story short, if you think about Shield, think about a tool that prevents fraudulent transactions at a device level. That has other features like bot attack management. You can also use the system to protect consumer accounts. So this is really fantastic. Next, you have a Xeon. So if you're looking for a chargeback protection software solution, think about Xeon. And Xeon is great for fighting money laundering. Okay, so Xeon does not only protect you from fraud, but it also protects you from becoming part of a money laundering scheme. So like the previous program, Xeon uses artificial intelligence to analyze millions of data and draw conclusions from them. So you have AI insights, for instance. So basically, you are detecting activities and getting a risk score for several parameters. For example, Xeon will analyze if the consumer's cookie matches a fraudulent pattern, or if the IP address was already flagged in the past as a fraudulent IP. You also have compliance, and you also have fraud prevention. So overall, what you will love about Xeon is that it has multiple functions other than fraud prevention. It can help you prevent money laundering schemes, and you can secure your customer onboarding with digital footprint, identification, etc. On the flip side, one thing I've seen is that Xeon is really too complicated to use. Okay, so think about Xeon as a tool that's great for you if you are in the iGaming industry, where fraud has a massive likelihood of happening. This tool doesn't have integration options, so you would have to code it inside your website or application manually. Okay, but the cool thing is that in terms of compliance, you will love the fact that as a merchant, if you accept payments, you can comply with various data, financial, and privacy laws. And Xeon ensures that you can consolidate your compliance requirements in one platform. And in terms of fraud prevention, Xeon actually uses a huge database of fraud detection metrics to decide if a purchase is potentially fraudulent, and it will block the transaction if it thinks the risk is actually very high. So this is really good from a flexibility point of view. Okay, so and also one thing I want to say is that Xeon is continuously learning to adapt to a changing industry. If you're looking for the best chargeback protection software solution, think about Sift. So Sift actually is great for streamlining the dispute process. So Sift is actually primarily an AI-powered decisioning tool. Okay, so it can really spot potentially fraudulent purchases and prevent them from happening in the first place. And Sift mainly provides this level of fraud detection support to e-commerce, fintech, travel, and delivery companies. So this is kind of cool. So you have dispute management. So here you can manage disputes from inside the SIFT platform. This is a console where you can customize your tags, filters, and other data to choose how you want to manage your disputes. You have prioritization, so you can set the system in such a way that you can prioritize high value chargebacks, and the software will notify you of this so you can act quickly. And finally, you have revenue protection, so you can create templates and streamline how you write responses to chargebacks. In addition, this is a good that I love it a lot. You can block potential chargebacks to keep disputes low. So this is really fantastic. So if you think about SIFT, think about a program that helps you with multiple functionalities for different financial needs. The tool provides services to protect against content scams, and also inside the app or software, they have a chargeback management system. Only thing is, SIFT is not really transparent when it comes to pricing, so you have to contact them. Okay, SIFT overall doesn't only provide services for fraud detection and chargeback management, but you can use it to prevent account takeovers and protect your customers and users. So this is really fantastic. It also has systems in place that will help you prevent policy abuses and detect digital wallet fraud. So if you're worried about that, think about Sift. Sift can really help you big time. Next, you have a ChargeFlow. So if you're looking for a chargeback protection software solution, think about ChargeFlow. And ChargeFlow is really great for a chargeback recovery. So whether you're selling online or offline, ChargeFlow can really help you tremendously. So this is not exactly a chargeback prevention software, but rather a chargeback management program. Now, if you have an online business or even an offline business, a chargeback management program can really help you. Okay, so what it does is this tool uses a science-based approach to win a chargeback against you. So by science-based, basically, what they mean is that the tool analyzes data and win rates and uses the results of that analysis to help you create a chargeback response. So what are the features you want to really look at here? You have automatic pooling, you have integration, and you have automated response. So when I say automatic pooling, once integrated with your system, it automatically pulls disputes and notifies you. And this data pull out happens in real time. In terms of integration, you can integrate ChargeFlow with multiple payment processing systems. And here I'm speaking about Afterpay, WooCommerce, Klarna, Chase, Braintree, Magento, BigCommerce, and more, okay? And you have also an automated response pattern. So once a dispute is pulled, the system will automatically attempt to resolve it. It will create a response letter and send it to the bank or the appropriate party, and you no longer need to do any kind of manual work. Everything is artificial intelligence driven. So what are the pros here? You have multiple integration options. So I love that a lot. I love this sort of integration capability. You have a fully automated chargeback resolution system. And you also have end-to-end fraud solutions that are also available. So what are the drawbacks here? Well, you would pay 25% of the chargeback amount if you won the dispute. So ChargeFlow is great if you don't want to spend a lot of money on human labor for processing chargebacks. The cost they charge you is high compared to other providers though. So basically this app is great for reputation repair, okay? So what you have here is that you have a tool that offers multiple solutions to problems of fraud and chargeback. So that's really fantastic. And basically this app or this software solution addresses invalid chargebacks that lead to a bad merchant reputation. So you have features such as prevention, presentment, merchant onboarding. Okay, so when I say presentment, this actually means that the machine will identify the source of the chargeback and address the issue. So you can prove whether or not a transaction was fraudulent, okay, so that you don't have to accept the blame. You also have prevention. So they have a feature where the system detects potential fraud. And you also have merchant onboarding. So once you avail of the service, they will provide merchant training and onboarding so that you can identify which steps in the payment process you may miss or what needs to be done to actually mitigate chargebacks. So this is kind of cool. So basically, if you think about Chargebacks 911, think about a tool that has lots of resources you can read to learn to learn more about chargebacks. You also have an ability to prevent and fix chargebacks. And also the AI finds the root cause of the chargeback to prove that it's actually invalid, okay? But on the flip side, Chargebacks 911 doesn't have pricing information on the website, so that lack of transparency is a little concerning. But hey, listen, it is what it is. So Chargebacks 911, commonly referred to as CB 911, doesn't integrate like typical software programs, okay? However, it is highly flexible and compatible with existing payment systems. So this is kind of cool. I mean, what I love personally is the fact that they have a feature where the system detects potential fraud before it happens. So this is kind of cool because then you don't have to be liable for any kind of problems later on. So I just shared with you the top 8 chargeback protection software solutions. Let me end this conversation with the top facts. So when you think about chargeback protection software, what is it really? Well, this is a program that prevents a chargeback from happening in the first place. So over the years, the term has also become synonymous with chargeback management software programs. Okay. So one thing I want you to understand here is that basically chargeback management entails responding to the claim, writing a long dispute letter of explanation, and gathering facts and evidence to support the case, which is totally different from chargeback protection, because chargeback protection means that basically you have software that's proactive, okay? Software that would not allow a customer to file a chargeback in the first place. So if you are looking for chargeback protection software, there are a few features to look for. For example, detection and prevention. Okay, so once a customer has filed a chargeback, you will face a lot of headaches in managing it. In addition, it doesn't make you look good in the eyes of the bank, credit card company, or payment processor. So what you want is a program, particularly artificial intelligence, that can evaluate if the purchase is likely to end in a chargeback. You also have integrations. So there are many payment processors you can choose from, okay? But the most common payment processors in use today are PayPal, Braintree, Stripe, Shopify Payments, Recurly, and Chargeback. You also want to have automation. So automation means you no longer need to do manual work. So automation systems are plug in and play. They will send you notifications and complete business processes without your intervention. You also have alerts. So you want a software program that sends you alerts to your email or your phone. Okay, so basically an ideal program should send you an alert not after the chargeback is already made, but before. And the alert should be sent to your email because this is the first thing you check every day. Once you have the notification, you can act on it accordingly. So this is pretty good to really think about. So as a coda to this conversation, I spoke to you about the best chargeback protection software solutions on the market today. So I gave you the top tools and then a few top facts and now the coda. Top tools include Chargeback.io, Riskified, Counts, Shield, Xeon, Sift, ChargeFlow, and Chargebacks 911. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.